We don't need nothing to happen to them that would jeopardize, the people who protect the nation based on what is going on when it comes to, everybody, Anthony Fauci saying that, it's immoral, this, that, the third, they ain't professionals, yada, yada. I don't understand what Anthony Fauci is saying, but we need to protect our men and women of the armed forces, and they need to do more fact checking as well. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important when we're talking about our U.S. military. This is not something that you can just joke around with, and things like that, because, everybody might have their way of doing what they do, but they also have a selfish way about the way they look at the world. You know what I'm saying? And none of them, to me, proceed their mother unless they come from some foreign planet and they don't belong here in disguise and doing all kinds of garbage because they have now infiltrated in our government. So, as far as Fauci calling the military people, and saying that they are the one inadvertently the cause of this problem is completely wrong. You can't do that to the men and women. I mean, is Anthony Fauci the weasel going to go out there and take bullets for the whole United States to secure our freedom? Is he going to do that, or he's just going to sit there and criticize people in the armed forces because they don't want to take the vaccine? That's not right. Why would you do that to the men and women who is the most vulnerable to losing their life on a battlefield? But Anthony Fauci ain't going out there. See, all the people that don't do stuff like that know how to talk for the people who be doing it, don't they? But when it comes to them going out there, and I understand chain of command, but when it comes down to the fact that those people got to do the work, I mean, how you going to call them and say that they ain't professionals? Or call them some kind of name? We got to cut this out, you know? We've got to start honoring the people who do the work. Who picks up your garbage. Because you ain't going out there to pick it up and take it to the dump for everybody in your community, every single person. You depend on the garbage truck companies and different people who do that kind of hard work to be able to do that. And I did that kind of work before. I know what it means to go around and pick up a whole neighborhood of everybody's garbage, house for house, home to home. That is not easy work. So people need to start to get past a lot of stuff that they have in their head when you let these elected officials elect themselves into the government, never did any hard work, never really went on no battlefield, probably don't even have the right credentials and fake their way into government and up there doing this Luciferian garbage. We got to start checking them. We've got to start fact checking them. As far as the credentials is concerned, and as far as how did you get in there. You know what I'm saying? And then giving your name big titles and able to bring down on the people all this nonsense. We've got to cut it out. We've got to get real in the battlefield. And that's a fact. Now switching subjects. New York lawmakers voted to strip Andrew Cuomo, you know what I'm saying, of his emergency pandemic powers. You know what I mean? And I could understand that. State legislator to repeal to do the repeal of Cuomo, you know what I'm saying? The state legislator is going to do a repeal on him, to repeal his executive orders, that at any time using a simple majority vote. So if he decides to go outside of himself, there's a majority vote that can bring him back in line. The vote lands along party lines, which is good. Lands along party lines with 43 Democrats leading the way in favor and 20 Republicans who wanted total repeal. You know what I'm saying? I agree on total repeal because they didn't repeal to me much of anything. Just the fact that if he's going to do something, he got to check in, which stands for accountability, and that's what we need. We don't need governors running off like a loose cannon, embarrassing the people and bringing down all kinds of criminal acts on the people who are just trying to live. Hard enough the Democrats done made it for these people in this world by infiltrating our government and doing a bunch of garbage to where you can come in there and try to do some more garbage and then think that you're going to lock everybody down under your command. And then when they ask questions, you acting as if like they're retarded, and you're not, because you are the one who's in government. You are the one who's running government. You are the one we are trusting to keep the records, to do this, to do that, to the third. When it comes to your position, nobody want to hear that fucking garbage. With their civil worldwide war theory. They need to cut the garbage out, because to me, they ain't cut Cuomo off no powers, really. The only thing they did was made it so there would be checks and balance, where he would have to check in. But what power did they cut? The same power remains in how he did this garbage in the first place. And you taking my videos down. This is a controversy to the world, and you want to silence those who choose to stand up against the garbage. The ones who have lost their loved ones, and so on, and so on. Let's start playing real politics here, and know when to cut the politics out and get back to the people's jobs that they elect you for. They didn't elect you to bring no garbage down on their head and think that you're going to slide. All right. You know what I'm saying? So the Republicans has got a point. And there should be no re-election. You got 3 terms in there, and you made sure you stayed there to bring down this garbage on people's head. You know what I'm saying? The assembly voted 107 to 43 in favor of the bill to scale back Cuomo emergency powers that, to me, he should not have had, and there should have been more than a check and balance. So somebody besides Cuomo was in on this. Facts. Don't come with me. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and call names, but you ain't fooling the great Point Black. I told you that. Don't you do that. This is not a joke. This is people's lives. Susan Wojcicki. You're up there taking my videos down. Send me the video so I can go over the video of its contents and see what it is you are talking about. Because if you could spend so much time to focus in on my videos, like I said, compared to some of the information that is up there, that is very enlightening about the conspiratorial and what is going on in our government, and you're focusing on mine, I hope it's you and not jealous people who feel in the fire. Punk. Now, the Republicans who don't think that the measure, does nothing much to curb the behavior of Cuomo, as well as deceit. You see. So he ain't fooling nobody with that trade. It didn't curb much. It pacified the people. But to me, and I'm going to say it again, it's time for Cuomo to step down. But I know why the people may do what they do and say they're not repeating his powers when it comes to this COVID-19 lockdown, mask, and mandatory garbage. Because the job ain't done. Same shit Bush did before he knocked down the world trade. I don't give a damn what nobody sees. Since you want to take my videos down, the connection is very, very clear. Now we looking at this situation based on a pandemic. Mm? Mm? Now, if we're basing it on a pandemic, you know, to me the whole thing has always been hearsay to the people. We have not had the concrete evidence and proof that we need to know that this was not a planned and orchestrated game upon the American people. You know what I'm saying? And whoever is found in this must be tried for treason against a nation. We cannot have this. Those that stand accused must stand trial. Hmm? While everyone else slides out the window. We cannot have this anymore. Now that goes for Trump as well. Trump ain't sliding out of this one. All right. So people better start paying more attention to what is going on. You're putting too much trust in places where it should not be. We cannot just be bloodthirsty killers. We cannot just be bloodthirsty and carrying on. We've got to come and calm this country down. We got to get back to what makes America America. There is too much infiltration in our political process and also our medical field. Anyone come from any cross country or involved with these clowns can come over here, get a top rate, high grade 500 Fortune 500 job as a director of maybe even Stony Brook Hospital. And he's up there shaking and baking. When they say this is this, he over there saying, yeah, that's true too. And then when this one say that, and he over there, and this one over there, and all kind of foreigners up in our medical field. We've got to start paying more close attention to those who practice medicine within our country. This has nothing to do with any medical advice. It has to do with just the medical field. Same as we're looking at Cuomo and what he did. You're taking on my comments based on what they said. But you saying that I violate the medical ground. And you don't have that on your channel and yada, 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 yada. But you got a whole lot of other people up here talking about it. And they're saying a lot more than I am. But that doesn't give you the right. Look, that don't give you the right. You know what I'm saying? To come up with my shit. Because we ain't having it. You know what I'm saying? The Republicans, you know, blasted Cuomo. Blasted Cuomo and his top aides, including Melissa DeRose, for reportedly altering and report forms from the state health department. So they're reporting and altering a report. Cuomo lied to the GOP Senate. Robert Arts said, you know, edited documents. Mm. Como aides edit reports so that it would not include nursing homes. But you're taking my comments down. Hmm. You're taking my videos down. Hmm. You're taking my shit down. Saying I'm doing this. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Como statement in part, in part, you know, the out of faculty data was omitted after the DOH could not confirm it had been adequately 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 verified. Adequately verified. I'll read it again. Como statement in part Como statement in part the out of faculty data was omitted to the DOH could not be confirmed. It could not be confirmed. It could not have been confirmed adequately or verified. Get it? I have to put it in just that way. So we're looking at this whole thing while they're taking my comments down, I'm talking about medical. Well, what you call this? That they're reporting on news media. It seems like somebody is very jealous of me or doing some garbage. You know what I'm saying? One time is you can't play intros to songs because I guess YouTube have the rights to everybody's song in the whole wide world. So I can't play shit I grew up with playing on my grandmother's porch out of my little jukebox because I guess I have a podcast and I can't play it like as if it's me. I'm not playing it like it's me, so get that out of your head. Any song, any intro I play on my joint and you know who it is, that's who it is. It is not me. You know what I mean? So we know that Como, you know what I'm saying, in part, out of faculty data, the faculty data that was omitted after the DOH could not confirm it had been adequately verified. Senator Jessica Ramos of Queens said that the governor's inability to see outside of his own ego cannot continue and go unchecked. Well, that goddess is right, Mrs. Ramos. Now, any governor in New York, let's be clear, has the power to suspend laws in a state of emergency. I read that again, since everybody like to take my videos down. This is coming clear off the report. I'm a reporter, and I'm also a watch on the wall as a reporter. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm point black, the real John Sheriff. You know what I'm saying? And some of these clowns need to be run out of town. You got to go, Sonny. You're here too long, boy. We ain't having it in this here town. You done messed up, boy. You know you messed up, boy. Now, I'll read it again. Now, any governor in New York has the power to suspend laws in a state of emergency. But last spring, lawmakers approved Como. They approved Como requests. This is Como requesting from the state, I guess, state lawmakers he in an emergency situation. You know what I'm saying? The but prior to this, last spring, you know what I'm saying? Last spring, you know, lawmakers approved Cuomo's request for additional authority to pass sweeping mandates. You know what I'm saying? Uninitiator or unalatory or whatever that word may be. I have to look it up. Sometimes they use words that are not really thing. What they're saying is he belonged. Let's keep it real. He went last spring and he applied for additional authority to pass sweeping mandate and executive laws that came down on the people based on a state of emergency. Now, in a state of emergency, we can understand that. You know what I'm saying? If a governor seeks the extra power to protect his state. But what we cannot understand and what we will not understand and what we will not accept is you're doing this under false pretense of some garbage in order for you to bring about something. That is what we're looking at, and that is what the focus is. And we're looking at all who are involved based on that. God damn it. You know what I mean? Because he applied for extra authority and the lawmakers approved Cuomo's request for additional authority to pass sweeping mandate executive laws, you know what I'm saying, and so on. But the Republicans have long opposed that additional power. All right? Not Trump only. Get that out of your head. Like I said, I was just backing him at that time as my Republican candidate. But it was an election, like a basketball game. Biden on one side, Trump on the other. I'm going for Trump, the LA Lakers. You going for Biden, the Knicks. Who win? And apparently, due to a little bit of confusion and wackiness, Biden takes the House, and we have to now accept that reality and move on. So talking about an insurrection, get the garbage out of here. Nobody want to hear that. That ain't news. That's garbage. Nobody want to hear nothing about no damn insurrection about the banana boat fruit bowls up there rushing the White House. Send them suckers home, man. And all those that did that garbage, cut that nonsense out. Leave the White House be. What you doing, man? They're talking about some insurrection and all this nonsense and rushing the White House and carrying on and blaming Trump. And then you got to have a court and this and that and they're suing Giuliani. To me, I don't want to hear it. It's bury that. You keep that off the news, man. Give us some real joints. Give us some real joints. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that Cuomo applied for those extra powers. And I wonder why. All right. On the new legislation, the governor would no longer have the power to pass mandates. But yes, he will. He just have to ask for it. And if it's a banana boat fruit bowl and a bunch of them up there banana boat fruit bowling, guess what's going to happen? They're going to pass the garbage. You know what I'm saying? And that's point facts. So you better watch what you're saying on one hand and then showing that you didn't do it on the other. So the question is, who all is involved, you see? But Republicans are not outraged. The Republicans are outraged the governor was not fully stripped of his COVID powers. That's because, like I said, the job isn't done. We must see inside now and stop playing around. You see, it's too much playing out there and games going on. You know, people talking about taking Johnson and Johnson and all these different vaccines. You know, but like I said, the archdiocese spoke on it and said that it was not moral because of the different things that's in the vaccine. That doesn't make any difference whether people want to get it or not. And YouTube as a whole should stop coming up to my videos because what I'm saying is what they're saying on the news. Unless you're suppressing the news and making everybody in the news and social media a complete corporate. You know who's a corporate. If somebody's sitting up there talking about some old garbage, terrorism, stupid crap, bull, you could understand that. But you're looking at mines and I'm telling you what the facts are. And you taking mines down. You taking my video down because of my research based on what y'all are saying on the news. So you want to deem Fox News and every other news in the whole wide world that ain't CNN and WNBC or whatever, WNBC, WSBC or whatever the stupid station is, you don't go after them, NBC or whatever. But everybody else, when this trick came in, everybody became a corporate of that media world. Don't come to me with that. You're suppressing information. You're suppressing a difference of opinion. And you're calling people names. Sounds just like the demon Democrat little kitty boo 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 boo. I rule the world and you do it. I said, give me your authority because I rule the authority house. We got to get them out of there. We've got to make them behave themselves. So Republicans this year, I need some spanking going on up there. And it also goes for New York State too. I want the Republicans, they should be stepping up, which they are doing, but I want a harder drive because we bringing it home. Woo! You know what I'm saying? So this is Point Black saying, may the mother be thy God. Open your name. For no one precedes their mother. I don't care what they see. So this Sirah, stay for I. Let the mother guide your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in this world that we live. For the common life is the life of all. And she say, Ra, stay for I. Like said he like to say, not the S-O-N, but the S-U-N. This is Point Black, PBN, National News, the late edition. 1.